Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Let's Draw in Adobe Illustrator with me, Big B Randon. How y'all doing today? Today I would like to introduce you to my newest character for Animal Warfare. His name is Rambow. Take a look at him. He's a ram and he has a bow, and Sly Stallone is pretty much a G. So here you go. Here's my version of Rambow. So the last video that I put out was about 30 minutes long, and that was like a typical day in the artist workflow for me and the company that I work for, 77 Sparks. And that one was about 30 minutes long. I decided that was way too long. It was really hard for me to talk that long, I guess, come up with new stuff to say, and I found myself complaining a little bit. And yeah, so this one is going to be substantially shorter. I'm going to try and keep them all at least under 20 minutes, and try and keep them even shorter than that. But this one is 20 minutes, still just kind of testing out this channel, feeling the flow, like figuring out what's a good length, like what's good content and such. So yeah, so here we are, going back to the pen tool. That is my tool of choice. If you remember, a couple weeks ago we did Radigan, and I did a little experiment with him. I traced him, or inked him 3 different ways, and in Adobe Illustrator, and decided which one I like. It actually brought up a couple questions for me, because I find that my traditional method, which is what you're watching now, is, yeah, I think I really like it. It looks super dope to me. It's really crispy. The line quality is pretty sweet. And I find it, yeah, just way better than the other 2 options that I did with Radigan. However, it does take about 2 to 3 times longer than any of the other methods as well. So one question I have to y'all is, please go back, find my Illustrator Let's Draw number 2. It's 3 different ways to ink in Illustrator, and there's a big gun with a gold tooth, or a mouse with a gold tooth and a big gun. His name is Radigan. Please go check it out, leave a comment, let me know which version you like better. Because the question that I have is, my same buddy that actually inspired me to make that video, he looked at all 3 final products and he couldn't really tell the difference between line quality, which I gotta say kind of hurt. I have to say, yeah, hit my heartstrings a little closely. So begs the question, you know, is this crispy quality that I like so much in Illustrator, using the method that I'm accustomed to, if it's really worth that extra time, right? I mean, if nobody else can tell the difference in line quality, and I'm sitting here spending 2 hours on inking something when I can do the same thing in 20 minutes using a different method, and nobody can seemingly tell the difference, I mean, that's certainly telling. So yeah, please go back, check it out. Again, that's Adobe Illustrator Let's Draw number 2, 3 different ways to ink in Illustrator. This little guy, I like him a lot. Just started sketching around one day during a meeting, and I came up with this guy Rambo, and all this mess with Creed and the Oscars and only nominating white folks and stuff. I've seen a lot of Sly Stallone posted around lately, doing discussions and rebuttals and such to you know, all different politics going on in Hollywood. So yeah, that kind of inspired this drawing. And as you guys know that have been watching this series for the last couple episodes, he is going to be a part of Animal Warfare, which is just a series I'll be doing for the rest of this year, and hopefully next year as well. The idea is to just ink all these guys from now until then, or now until the end of the year. Hopefully come up with a cast of 30-40 different characters, and then come back in 2017 and then try and color them all in Illustrator, because right now I am not a very good colorer. I really like these lines, and I like character design and such, and I've really been struggling and working hard on that to really develop that side of my craft. And as I get to this point where I'm starting to become fairly happy with these characters that I'm coming up with, I realize that I can't color them because my choice of color palette sucks, or the way that I don't know, I can't quite put my thumb on it yet, which is why I still can't solve it yet. So next year, 2017, we'll come back to this grand group of characters, and we'll try and color them all, see what happens. So yeah, here we go. He's starting to get a little more detail in this guy. You can see his head now. It's kind of the crotchety old guy. As I think of him, I just hear him say, "Get off my lawn," yelling to some couple whippersnappers coming home from high school. Right. So it's pretty much the same old as we going through here. Just wrapping up one of the horns, gonna duplicate it here and switch it on over to the other side. And while we wrap this guy up, at least while we wrap his head up, just kind of talk to you a little bit about some things that are going on with me. I realized that my last couple videos I've chatted a lot with y'all, told you a little bit about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and such, but it doesn't really tell you much about me yet, right? I am 33 years old now. I can't believe it. 33 years old. I have 2 kids, and absolutely beautiful. One is 1 year old, 15 months, excuse me, and the other one's just about to turn 4. I have an absolutely beautiful wife. We've been married for about 4 years, but actually been seeing each other for, probably 12 years. Love her to death. I've been a professional artist now for 77 Spark Studios for about 4.5 years. Started this company with a guy that I met back in Boston, and now we live out here in California, and we've since grown the company to a staff of about 10. And then we have a couple other contractors and such that helps us with localization across the world and marketing and some of the audio. The audio guy that we have is pretty awesome. He's back in Boston too. We met him back there. So yeah, that's a little bit more about me and who I am, where I come from, right? I think my overall inspiration really comes from the Disney era and those back after school cartoons, Tailspin and Darkwing Duck and DuckTales and even some Bonkers and Aladdin. That was a really great one. That was awesome. So here we go, just filling out the Ram's midsection here. He's still using the ped tool. I love to rock that thing. Shift C works a lot too. That allows you to kind of bend the paths there, as you saw when I was working on the right edge of that belt. Figure this guy, he's kind of old. He's probably been in a lot of battles, so his midsection's all wrapped up here. He's got a big belt on because he's probably emaciated. He's been in the trenches so long he hasn't ate much. Who knows, man? So yeah, I'm really excited about this idea of Animal Warfare. Really flesh these characters out. Have a lot of fun drawing these guys. And I had a pretty good compliment the other day. Somebody told me, he's like, I really like how in your character design you can just see the emotion and see the attitude, and which is really flattering to me because I love that. It's like one of my most favorite part about being a cartoonist or an animator is creating that illusion of thought in something, right? And even more so than animating, to be able to, in a single still image, to make this 2D character that has just come from your head and your soul, your heart, right? And then make it look like that they're thinking about something or reacting to something, and having other human beings be able to pick up on that. It's just a really amazing thing. It's definitely my favorite, right? So one thing I did want to talk to you guys about today, just kind of change up the topic a little bit, see what resonates with y'all. I wonder about your motivation. If you guys have a little bit of time and care to make a comment or two, I would love to know, like, how you stay motivated, what motivates you, what inspires you, how you motivate others. I would love to know. For me, I mean, I've been an artist for only a short while professionally, but I've really loved to do it my whole life and draw. I remember, back in the 7th grade, I got this comic book, Shadowhawk, and the cover was like this fold-out poster, right, of Shadowhawk fighting this like guy with this huge flame gun on top of a building. And so I took it over to my buddy's house and kind of posted it up on the wall, and we were both sitting at his kitchen table trying to draw this thing. And then he busted out this like super cheap, cheesy pack of like 48 markers or something, where the tips were half all dried up and such. And we just sit there all afternoon, just kind of chilling and drawing the cover of this comic book. And it was that day that I was like, man, this is a lot of fun. I would like to do this for a living, right? I mean, because it came out really good. It was the longest I ever spent on a particular piece of art, and I thought it was pretty sweet. So. However, when I grew up a little bit, you got to pay your bills, and you can't really live in the clouds, right? So I actually got into hotels and went through college because I was able to get college help, thankfully. But I had to go to school doing something that was approved, I guess, in order to get those funds. So needless to say, life as a professional artist or an art degree was out the window. So I went out and did hotels for a little bit. And then once I was able to kind of get on my own 2 feet and establish myself, I went back for art school. So I was really motivated. I was a really driven guy. I took over, my first hotel at the age of 20. And I managed hotels for a long time, worked for Disney, and for a long time went to art school, was a chairman of SIGGRAPH there, and I got almost straight A's, I think. There was a couple 3D classes that I struggled in because I was working too at the time, and I just didn't have the time to spend. And but yeah, I was a really motivated guy, and here I am, 4 years into co-founding this company that has had millions of downloads all over the world. I think we have something ridiculous like 500 million puzzles played with one of our games, Pazingo. We have a team of 10, like I said. We all have health insurance. We spread from here to we've worked with people in Ireland and the Philippines, and we have some localizers over in Asia and Thailand and such, and down in Mexico and Brazil, and I mean, our company's gotten pretty big. Our resume, I guess, has gotten pretty long and pretty impressive. We've gotten tons of awards from all kinds of parent choices, and we're just about to embark on creating this brand new game for an older audience, but here I am finding myself completely unmotivated for the first time in my life. I feel like for the last 10 years I've worked to get to this point, and now every time I come out to my desk, which is an absolute beautiful desk, I have a great view of downtown Sacramento out my window. The whole wall is windows. I can see the Tower Bridge, and I'm very blessed. Like I was saying earlier, I have a beautiful family. I have a wonderful dog I neglected to mention. He's my firstborn. He's an American Bulldog, and he's absolutely amazing. 100-pound, just a big Sally. Thinks he's a lap dog. But he's fantastic. And but yeah, so anyway, I feel like I have all these amazing things going for me, and we're really starting to blossom as a company and as a team, and just come out here on a daily basis, and I find myself so unmotivated. And I'm curious to know what motivates you guys. How do you stay motivated? What drives you? What gets you to work every day, and what actually gets you to perform while you're at work? Right, because going to work and actually performing while at work, I'm sure a lot of you know, is much different. So anyway, yeah, I would love to hear what's up. So here we go, looking at this turtle again. Back to what we're doing on screen. We started inking this guy and realized that he didn't really look as in agony with his original mouth shape. So I changed that up a little bit. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but it was a little better. And this is the first time of the animal anthropomorphic warfare series that I tried texturing one of the animal's noses. So I'd be curious to know what you guys think about this ram's nose and those little half circles there covering his nose. I think I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. There's a few things that I noticed that I might change on this guy as time goes on, but overall I really like this guy. As I said, I could see him sitting up on his front porch and just yelling at all the kids to stay off his lawn, or chipmunks or whatever may be in his neighborhood. So also, as time goes on and I'm producing these and I'm watching other YouTubers, and I'm definitely trying to up my game as far as video quality and production quality. You notice I have a brand new logo staying down there in the left hand corner. It's an apple. I've been kind of rocking various versions of the apple ever since art school. Last name is Applegate, if you didn't catch the association there. And yeah, let me know. We got that cool little intro of all the anthropomorphic warfare guys that we have so far, and then with this guy, he's the newest addition. I actually have a new one that is I've already kind of sketched up and have an idea of what he's going to be. I still have to do the final design for him for next week's video, but he's going to be on this side with the ram as well. I'll start creating some opposing forces here to really get that warfare look. Yeah, I got that new song on SoundSnap. That's a great website. Check it out, soundsnap.com. They have all kinds of sound effects and little audio clips and such. You do have to be a member. I think if you're not a member, you may be able to pay for individual downloads. but otherwise you do have to kind of stay a member and keep the rights up and such. So it's a pretty great website. I definitely recommend to anybody that's looking for a theme song that's royalty free. Yeah. So here we go, just working on this bow. This bow was actually inspired. My little boy just got his very first Nerf gun, so thing is way cooler than any Nerf toy I had as a kid. So that's another reason that we're kind of got this Rambow guy. So Sly Stallone, thumbs up, man. Like my video, pretty please. Let me know if this is the kind of stuff that you're interested in. I mean, I love Illustrator, and I would love to share it with you. I don't ever really want to go too far in tutorial mode, just kind of show you what it's like to draw in Illustrator. I know my first couple videos were very step-by-step processes, but I was still just learning the ropes, getting used to talking to myself for this amount of time is something that at least I'm not used to doing, right? So the more comfortable I get, hopefully the less tutorial-like these will become as time goes on. And we're just kind of wrapping up this bow. I noticed that the arrow and everything should be more straight, right? So this is why I'm rotating everything around a little bit, trying to get the line of the arrow shaft a little more straight, just for overall shape and yeah, just feeling for the entire piece. So gave it a little bit of thickness here. I actually inked this with a Prismacolor brush pen first, and I didn't give the shaft actual any thickness to it. So I wanted to make sure I went ahead and did that in the digital version. So we're just kind of wrapping up, making some adjustments to his pant leg here. Again, using that pen tool and those vertices and Bezier handles. They're a pain to work with, but boy do I like the crisp line they create. And now I've been working with them for so long, I just wouldn't have it any other way. So I hope you guys are big fans of vector art and anthropomorphic warfare. Again, this is a little Robin Hood, some old school Disney vibes going on here. And now we're back, getting close to the end. We're going to pan over, show you the full cast of characters we have so far. And again, hopefully we'll be about 40 characters by the end of the year. Take care.